Welcome, everybody. It's Thursday night. That means it's Nerd Wars. I got to turn my level down. Oh, there I am. Is it soft? Too soft? There you go. Let me know if the level's high enough. My phone level. Hey, everybody, welcome. So excited to be here tonight to have some fun with you guys, have some Nerd Wars. We got a full packed building of 4 fighters. In fact, actually, no, one of them has. We have 1 winner and we have 3 new champions of this new edition we've done. Let's meet our fighters tonight. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this lineup. I'm so excited. Let's start with our returning winner, Darth Daddy Lunga himself. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. Are we doing weigh-ins, Andy?
Sure. You want to do a weigh-in? Yeah, let's do it. I think the audience would like that.
Take it off.
Woo-hoo! Take it off. Take it off. Oh, no, it's weird. It's getting too weird. Awesome. Good to see you, my man. Next up, making his debut on here. I'm so happy to finally have him. You've seen him on Nerd Report and all ever elsewhere. It's John from Nerd Reactor. What's up, my man?
What is up? I am excited to, take down Lewis.
Who isn't?
Didn't we do that last week? You're not supposed to tell anyone.
Ooh.
No, that was
right.
that was.
I publicize it everywhere.
We took each other down, baby.
Wow.
Nice.
All right, you went too far.
That always makes it weird. Well, John, I told you you'd come here eventually. I'm glad we finally made this happen. Happy to have you here, man. Thank you for being here. Also making his debut from Game World Intel, it's Slevin. What's up, dude?
What's going on, Andy?
How you feeling? You feeling nervous? You feeling excited? What's going through your
Little
brain?
nervous. I'm probably gonna get thrashed, but we'll see.
Hey, let's see how it goes. You never know. You might surprise us all, including yourself. But
Right.
good to see you, my man. Welcome to the show. And then he's done this before, sort of. I got to be honest, Lewis. I've been avoiding you on this show ever since that V for Vendetta fight. I'm still holding a grudge on that choice of yours. So I hope we will see if you redeem yourself tonight. We shall see. But yeah, throw those Lewis heads in there. We shall see how this goes as we lost
Drop
Lunga.
the heads. Andy Signor re-invited me to the show. I said, who am I going to go up against? Is it going to be Lunga? I could take him. He's a little hard, but I could take him. Slevin, he's still pretty hard. But when he mentioned John, I'm like, come on, man.
Oh, man.
You think so?
A gum under
You
my
think
shoe.
so?
I like this already. There's a lot of
That gum is gonna crawl up to your leg pants,
the
and I don't know.
smack
It's
talk
gonna
has already begun. Woo-hoo. The smack talk
Raise
has
those
begun.
heads.
all amateurs. You're all-
This is going to be fun. Oh, there, Lunga's back. Good. All right. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. Chris is there. Steph, thank you guys for bearing with me today. It was a crappy day, and I almost canceled the screening tonight, or the stream tonight, just because I was frustrated with a lot of other stuff. But I'm glad we're here. I'm so glad to see you guys in the building. Marcos, my man, James, Taylor, Sathwick, Paul, so many of you guys. Pardon me if I don't go. But there's 2 I got to call out because Michael Caratulo was already in the building dropping that super chat. Let's get this SHIT started right. Everyone on here, hit that damn like button and show your support to the man who has brought you entertainment through these bad times. Thank you, man. You have brought a lot of support this way, so I appreciate you, Michael. You are a good dude. Thank you for always supporting this channel and this stream. Love you, man. Everyone throw up some planets for Michael Caratulo. And then Robert Mitchell already out the gate. What if they released Wonder Woman 84 because of the Snyder Cut? I think Cheetah might be a post-credit scene with Legion of Doom and the Snyder Cut. Thoughts? Dude, come on. That's not... What are you talking about? No, it's not happening. Cheetah's in the finale. It's happening. There's no Snyder Cut knowledge to that. Totally separate things. But I appreciate the support. But if you guys want to use that in the fight, you can, because round 1 is up, and that's going to be, who do we decide? It's John versus Lewis, yes? We are asking this question of which is the better movie to stream? If you had to pick one to watch in theaters with the other film then being forced to stream, would it be Black Widow or Wonder Woman 84? Which movie would actually be the better movie to put to streaming? In which case, HBO Max for Wonder Woman 84, which has now been announced, or Black Widow on Disney+. Look, Wonder Woman obviously is already going to HBO Max. A lot of people, we were going to debate whether it should have, but I feel like we've been doing that debate to death. I thought this is a little bit more interesting. Which one would you have rather seen? Because I think we all, guys, verify, we all want to see these movies in theaters in an ideal world, correct? I mean, so that the debate of should this be streaming is a dumb question. given the world we live in, it's complicated. But if we had to pick one of them to give up, if we had the choice, would it be Black Widow on streaming or Wonder Woman? All right, so Slevin and Darth Daddy Lunga, if you can turn off your cameras for this first round, we'll bring you back. But pay attention because you guys will help me judge. But John and Lewis are going to pick a movie of which would be better to stream. So I'm going to ask you each, which of these two movies, Black Widow, Wonder Woman 84, both two movies a lot of us are looking forward to. John, which would you rather see in theaters? Which is the one you're like, you know what, I need this one in theaters more than the other?
No, we have to see Black Widow in theaters, Wonder Woman streaming, HBO Max. That's fine.
All right, so Lewis, that means you have to see Wonder Woman streaming and Black Widow onto Disney Plus. That's what you would have preferred?
Yeah, so John wants to make this even easier.
Ooh. All right, well, there you go. You guys hear it now. You got the fight. Let's get the 10 minutes are on the clock. Lewis, you've fought here before, so I'm going to make you start. Time's going to be on the clock. If you don't talk for too long, if you do, I will interject. But you guys will see the clock. You guys see it on the shared screen, correct? I'm about to.
I don't see it, but you could just give me a 10-second warning. This is a 5-second fight. John ain't nothing.
Do you see it, John?
On the actual screen, no.
Yeah, I shared screen.
Shared screen. He shared his screen.
You guys don't see it? Hold on.
Look at
I don't see it.
Hold on. Let me share it again. Make sure you know what I asked. Shared screen.
I saw it.
You guys see it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we see it.
All
now.
right, good. All right, sorry.
the
You guys
wrong
got. I want to make sure you had the 10
screen
minutes up. So now you got the 10 minutes on the clock. You guys will see the countdown. Make sure you get in there and fight it out. Here we go. Nerd Wars begins now.
All right, John. First of all, you don't know what you're talking about. Really? You want to see Black Widow, who we've seen like several times already in a span of the 10 years of the MCU being around? We've already seen her. We already know where her story's going, and it's going to go down the pit. She's already dead. We know she died. It's like, dude, there's no surprises. What are they going to do? There's no twists and turns. The character's a cool character, but like they say, Marvel has heroes. DC are gods among us, and it's time for the god Wonder Woman to shine. We want to see what she's got. We want to get this party started. It's DC's time to show us what's good, man. I'm not excluding Marvel, but DC has not shown us its full potential. The first movie was getting us there. Now we have Wonder Woman. Patty's back. Patty's a way better director than Kate Shortland, whatever. I don't know her name. No disrespect, but Patty's already a proven good director. Wonder Woman is costing over $200 million. That's for the VFX, for the epic scope, for the IMAX feature, and Black Widow is just a little bit over 100. That tells you that it's in the same budget as the Snyder Cut. Okay, Snyder Cut's just a few reshoots. Zack Snyder said it's only 4 minutes more, and they could only afford Jared Leto, the worst Joker ever. He's a discount Heath Ledger, okay? That costs $100 million to do.
All right, John, I want John in this fight. Go, John.
Okay. Did you say that Wonder Woman didn't have her time to shine? She shined in the third act, and the third act was terrible. She flew up. Black Widow, she hasn't had her time to shine yet. She needs to go out there. She needs to kick some ass. And we're going to get that with Black Widow fighting Taskmaster. And that scene in the trailer you saw, she's fighting in the air. That's going to be way more epic than anything they're going to show in the Wonder Woman, with Wonder Woman fighting a crappy CG cheetah. Who wants to see that? That's why it's going to be on HBO Max, limited, so you don't see all the details of Cheetah and all the crappy special effects that they spent. You said $200 million? I don't see it. And with Black Widow, she's never had her moment, a solo film. She's always been a side character, and now she gets to shine. We get to see more of her past, her history, and her family. And she's, out of all the characters, you've been through her the longest. People want to see what she's capable of. They want to grow with her, because she passed away in Avengers Endgame. And after that, they're like, she needs a proper movie. And this is the movie that deserves to be shown in theaters. Wonder Woman, we've already seen her solo movie. Patty Jenkins, you said she's really good. She did, the first 2/3 was great. But here it's time for a new star, a new Marvel female-led solo film that we deserve, because we don't have that. Captain Marvel, she doesn't even count. So, there.
All right, go ahead. Fight it out.
John, when do you start? Did you already make your case, or is there a second or third part to that? That was ridiculous. She was the best. If you're talking about Batman versus Superman, yes, she was in the third act. You alluded to that. You didn't even know what movie you were talking about. But if you're trying to say that she already had her time to shine in Batman versus Superman, that was only a little.
She had her time to shine in Wonder Woman.
That was the best part of the movie. That's what everyone talks about.
Which part are you talking about?
What are you talking about? You said third act.
I'm talking about the third act of Wonder Woman where she's fighting Ares. She was like flying in the air. She's a goddess. She's a demigod.
Look, and you even said it yourself. Black Widow is a side character. There's a reason why she's a side character. She's a bootleg Captain America, man. We've already seen
she's
her.
Not a bootleg Captain America.
And the reason,
no, she's not.
the reason you talk about VFX, there's no VFX in Black Widow because it's all practical effects. No knock on practical effects, but that's.
Okay, let's correct you there. There are special effects
need to be shown in theaters.
There are special effects in Black Widow. If you've seen the fight at the very end, that's not all practical. Where they're fighting and a bunch of ships are flying around, crashing into each other.
What does Taskmaster do? Imitate people?
He can imitate people.
So he's like every other Marvel character. He's the same as the bad guy, but bad. We got that in Iron Man.
But this is different. This guy can capture any person's skills.
Yeah, that's the same thing. He copies everyone's skills and then throws it back at them.
Yeah, how are you going to defeat a guy like that who can copy every person? He's got the skill of Captain America, Black Panther, Black Widow.
Okay, so in Black Widow, you're saying right now, you're telling me in the Black Widow movie, the only semi-interesting character is the villain that no one's ever heard about?
Hey, villains make for a great movie.
Yeah, but this isn't a great villain. He just imitates people.
He's an awesome
parrot.
villain.
He's a glorified parrot.
There is a mystery behind Taskmaster. You're trying to find out.
What is the mystery?
The mystery is how is he connected to Black Widow's past? And what about Cheetah?
God.
What makes her
I don't know. That's why we want to watch the movie.
Bling it around, but you already saw like bits and pieces of that in the trailer, and you're like,
Patty Jenkins and Gail
Gadot.
Gail and Patty have been traveling the world. All right. The thing for Black Widow hasn't even started promotion because it's a small film, dude. You got to look at the scope of things. Wonder Woman is worldwide, and what's it called? Black Widow is just, it's not as big a scope, man. Plus, we know where she heads. We know she dies, man, at the end.
It doesn't matter where she's headed. It's all about the journey, the adventure. It's like watching Titanic.
We already know the journey.
You already know what happens in Titanic, but it's like the #1 movie for a time.
Oh, so you want to watch Titanic 2?
You don't have to watch Titanic 2 because you already know what happens in Titanic.
Same thing with Black Widow. I already know what's going to happen to her. What else could happen to her? You guys know? Does anybody know what the heck could happen to Black Widow? I mean, Black Widow in the future. We already know she dies.
But her history, her past, that's the best part. With Wonder Woman, what is she going to do?
We already saw her past in the 20
going into
MCU
the 80s,
films.
and then you see Chris Pine back again. Like, I've already seen him. What he's going to do now? He's like,
well, we don't know.
We
don't know what he's going to do because guess what? They haven't killed off Wonder Woman in the future. This is a sequel. This is not it's not a prequel.
That's a great character. We can kill them off instead of making them live long over and over again until they get
But we don't
boring.
know if he's alive, technically. Do we know if he's alive? No.
Who knows?
I do.
Or, you know.
Yeah.
So far from the trailer, nothing has been very interesting with
Look, John, I'll just repeat. One movie costs more. The reason it costs more is because it's more epic and bigger in scope. We've already seen the MCU.
Transformers cost more. Doesn't mean it's better or
yeah,
anything.
I know, but Patty Jenkins is no Michael Bay. So we already saw the MCU go through an epic story. It's got to restart. These are throwaway movies they're going to start off with.
And they're going to come with a
slow for the next thing.
It's going to keep on going.
DC needs to now it's getting going. So IMAX to go on the small screen is going backwards. So it needs to be in theaters. $200 million. The first one made a gang load of money as well.
You keep saying $200 million as if it means something.
Because it does mean something. It means
ever.
they're spending money. They're spending money on the movie.
They also spent money on Tenet. Look where that went.
Well, listen, if you have to look over there, you lost the debate already.
I didn't look over there. I'm just looking.
Yeah, you did. You
you
mentioned another movie. It has nothing to do with this thing right here. It has nothing to do with our war.
Either way, Wonder Woman, nothing about it. 1984 looks interesting. She goes to the mall. She fights Cheetah as a human. Who cares about that? Like, I'd rather see Stranger Things with the kids going to the mall.
Well, no one blames you for having good taste,
The $200 million
dollars
spent on the mall fight? And then a little thing at the end where
90 seconds.
running around?
John, I need you to come up. He's got you against the ropes. John, come on strong. Go.
Here, John, I'll put my chin up. I'll put my chin
Black
up, John.
Widow.
Hit it right here, baby. All you got.
Either way, Black Widow deserves her moment. It deserves to be in theaters because we've never seen that. And
we have seen that.
In theaters with her solo stuff where she gets to kick
ass
without any help from anybody. Wonder Woman, also, she was a side character in Batman v Superman.
Okay, man, let me just knock you out right now. Okay, look, she's had more screen time.
She didn't even get a solo move at the very beginning.
Every time she has screen time in the MCU, it's So you want another 2 hours of I don't know, man.
That's what's great about the MCU, that they're able to get these characters to make you care about them so that when it's time for them to shine, you're fully invested instead of Wonder Woman where they just throw her in
listen,
and then they'll show the history afterwards.
This is a boxing match. I let you punch me in that. Kick me, because nothing is penetrating my cranium.
Nothing's penetrating my cranium. What's your point?
All right, bro. I'll just go back. $200 million, epic scope, promotions all over the world. DC. This is the movies that are going to get DC going. Marvel already had a great run. I'm not knocking their run, but Black Widow was one of the weakest points. That's why the genius.
Black Widow is not one of the weakest points.
Kevin Feige would have made a movie about her.
People would have made a movie about her. In Endgame, she sacrificed herself.
She's a bootleg 007.
People got emotional.
Time.
She's not a bootleg.
Whoo! Oh man! All right. Well, as Michael Caratu just dropped a chat, I just witnessed a murder. Well, I don't know if it was that hard. All right, you guys, the rest of you can come in the building back in if you want to turn your cameras on. There's George Lucas is here. That's going to be more relevant soon. We got some chats I'm going to go through quick. David March, my co-host Lewis is killing this. A lot of Lewis heads. Our man David March had your back there. Michael Caratua, Lewis, no one likes a bully, LOL. Stefania, challenge to all of you. Who dares to match or beat my super chat here? I'm waiting. That's very sweet. You didn't have to do that. But yeah, who's gonna beat her? Come on, guys. But thank you for that. I think we got everybody. And then there was one.
Another,
no, Robert,
Michael
I got
Caratua.
him. We did do it. I got both Michaels.
Michael Caratua had another one at the end.
I just witnessed a murder. I got that.
Yeah. Oh, you said that one.
Yeah, that was the first thing I said.
Okay.
But anyway, bravo. All right, good. It was fun at least. Look, I think Lewis surprised me. I gotta say, Lewis came strong.
What?
Lewis came strong. And you really had John against the ropes there. Now, John, you had some good points too, though. She needs her moment on the solo screen. This is like the respectful thing to do for this movie we've been waiting for. I agree, Cheetah does look like bad CGI. But you started losing me. I also love the same mall from Stranger Things. We've seen it before. But you said she's never been in theaters before. I mean, that's not true. We have seen her in other
like
movies.
A solo.
And we saw her past. I loved Lewis's line. We've seen her pass in 20 MCU movies already. That's true. We already know what happens to her. We know they haven't killed off Wonder Woman, or they haven't killed off Wonder Woman in the future, so therefore things can be excited. And calling her a bootleg Captain America, Lewis, I mean, that was a strong attack. I gotta say, John, you were good, but John, you let Lewis just keep pounding you, and then you didn't pound back enough. So I got to give Lewis my point. But let's see, I could be overruled here. George Lucas, we'll go to you next. What's your vote?
Thank you, Andy. I've long wanted to come on your program, and I appreciate you having me on today. I hear I'm the topic of the next.
You are. The next round will be. Did you ruin your legacy with the prequels? Based off the quote that's out there, so that'll be next.
Garbage. As far as this challenge goes, I have to say one thing: Lewis won by default just because he was so mean. John is just too nice, and I think
that's very nice.
Why he possibly lost it. What I would have liked to have seen Lewis say is that Wonder Woman is part of the Trinity. She's one of the big three of DC, which instantly makes her more attractive to viewers than Black Widow. That's the one thing I would have liked to have seen said and talked about. They talked about money a lot, which I don't think is irrelevant in this situation. But I would have liked to
George
see
Lucas,
that.
that's pretty ironic.
Challenge accepted, Stefania, but I don't super chat. Good luck, guys.
Yeah, there it is. Knock Shadow knows how. Knock Shadow, drop it in the building. The Purple Rain, $50 donation. Challenge accepted. But yeah, he knows how to do it. He does it through PayPal. That way, YouTube doesn't take their exorbitant fees. So thank you, Knock Shadow. Love you, man. Whoa, bravo. I love. Awesome. But good. George Lucas, good feedback. Slevin, what is your feedback here on the votes? What did you think?
Lewis was very aggressive on the Black Widow. He really didn't mention anything interesting when it came to Wonder Woman. He didn't give me a reason why I should want to watch Wonder Woman in theaters instead of Black Widow. So honestly, in my opinion, I would have to go with John on this one. But Lewis, like, he was very adamant about, like, pretty much trashing trashing Black Widow, then promoting Wonder Woman. He just kept on throwing numbers out and trashing Black Widow and keep on trashing Black Widow. But you didn't really say anything meaningful for Wonder Woman, like, herself, like why we should want to watch it in theaters. It's not just because they promote it.
Well, the chat disagrees with you.
Story.
The chat disagrees with you. The chat is far leaning into Lewis with 77% of the votes, along with George Lucas and I. So while I hear Slevin's comment, he's overruled. Lewis, you win the first round. Wow, bravo. I need to put on one. Do you have like an applause sound on your thing?
Oh yeah, I have that all on cue.
Hey, you got that was quick.
Can I say something real quick?
Of course you can. Go ahead quickly.
I just want to say, John, you fought a good fight, though. I gotta say that Black. I want to be a little bit like in the middle here. Black Widow is a great character, but we're fighting here. It's a nerd war.
Oh,
but
don't play nice now.
Feel
keep playing heel.
I do feel like Wonder Woman's something you want to watch on the screen because of the cinematography, the way it's looking, and man, they have New Order in the trailer. Come on, you know.
Oh, no,
yeah, you're probably not going to hear that in this movie.
That's fine, but the trailer had it.
It's okay. Don't worry, John. I will avenge you once I destroy Slevin. I'll take out.
Before this fight, why don't you click on that Google Doc? It's just the view of the standings right now.
On the Google, I don't have it up right now. Anyway,
you put it in a private chat here.
I'll get it. We'll do it at the end of this. All right. So, that means what was I going to say? I want to get to round 2 though. In the meanwhile, because let's get that started, and then I can go look. Let's remove for the next ones. We'll remove John and Bravo. Yeah, it was a good first round. Please come back, John. I thought you did great. John and Lewis, if you can drop out, we're gonna now let Slevin and Lunga lead this next round. And the topic is this was a quote that George said in his new book, saying that Fox, the studio, told him when they heard that Anakin was gonna be a 10-year-old boy, that this would ruin George Lucas's legacy. That was what the studio said. So we're going to ask the question: did the studio have a point? Were they correct? Did it actually ruin George Lucas's legacy? And so we are going to have Slevin and Lunga fight this out. Lewis and John, turn off your cameras for me. Just turn off your camera feed, and then that way you'll drop out of my view. There we go. Lewis, you're next. But Slevin and Lunga. All right, so Slevin, do you think the prequels ruined George Lucas's legacy?
No.
No. Okay. And Lunga, that means you think that it did?
Oh, yes, I can say it did, and I can back this up, Slevin. I hope you're ready. All right, we got 2 people on the board. The clock is back up. You guys see the counter? Let me pull it up.
There it is on your shared screen, so you guys can keep track of your time. It is time for round 2, Nerd Wars. Did the prequels ruin George Lucas's legacy? Let's do this. Time start. Who would like to go first? Anybody?
I'll go.
Ooh, there it is.
I'll go. I've given it up every other match. This time I'll go first. I'll take the lead.
Okay, there it is. The clock is on. Time starts now.
Listen, everyone loves George Lucas. I'm a Star Wars fan. You know what? If you love Star Wars, everyone reveres Lucas. I get it. We understand that. However, here's the thing people need to remember. What we revere Lucas for is stuff like Empire Strikes Back. That's almost across the Star Wars universe what people's favorite movie is. Guess what? Lucas didn't make that great. That was Kasdan. Lawrence Kasdan helped make that movie great because he put stuff in there that needed to happen. Lucas comes out and says that Fox told him it was going to be a bad idea if he put a young Anakin Skywalker in there. And you know what? It was, because of all the prequels until Attack of the Clone came along. The Phantom Menace was one of the most not happy. People were not happy coming out of the Phantom Menace. Like, why are we watching this kid this whole movie? Now it has this nostalgia thing, and people are reloving the prequels again. But for the longest time, people said we did not need a child Anakin. And Lucas kind of hurt himself with that. And he came out during the prequels and kept saying things like, you know what, I really don't care what the fan thinks. I'm making what I want to make, this and that. Harrison Ford, other actors have said this man cannot write dialogue. That is why Empire Strikes Back is great, because Kasdan wrote the dialogue. You could see the dialogue problems in the prequels. He can write a story. He can't write what people need to say. So yeah, by doing this, he did hurt his legacy. And the only thing that's making his legacy great again right now is we have Disney doing it. And now people want to go back to Lucas because Disney has it. Not because Lucas was great at it, because he wasn't. He was a great storyteller, horrible writer though. He could not write dialogue. That's why the prequel sucked. That's why having Anakin as a child is a big mistake, because you had a pedophilia going on. Even you had to get Anakin fall in love with Padme, who was it was just weird. Slevin, it was not necessary.
Get you in, and then we'll come back to you. Go ahead, Slevin.
I'm dumbfounded right now. Like you're saying that he's throwing like pedophilia. Come on, bro. That's not cool, man.
I mean, kind of were, dude.
They weren't that much old. Padme wasn't that much older than Anakin.
She was a teenager, and
she really wasn't.
Age.
It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't. But it really wasn't that much older. Like, dude, when they officially got together, it was like what? When Anakin was already a Jedi. So it really doesn't matter. You know, I don't think it because with the prequels he gave us, you know, such amazing stories. So yeah, he might not be a good like dialogue director or whatever, but when it comes to stories, that's what we get. That's what we got.
You just admitted it. You just admitted it. You said, yeah, dialogue, whatever, he's not that great at it.
But listen, it comes down to the story.
What he did is give us a story we knew. We knew Darth Vader was his father. We knew he fell from the light side. All he did is give us 3 movies, and all we waited for was that last scene in Revenge of the Sith, and that's what everybody was waiting for. And that's what we wanted to see, was that fight with him and Obi-Wan. And we just struggled through all the rest of it to get to that. He was not a good writer. Lawrence Kasdan made everything about Star Wars great. Even the sequels, which people are split on, most people liked The Force Awakens, and Kasdan had a hand in The Force Awakens. And it was a rehash of what happened. Lucas brought him in to fix the problems he was doing. And when he made the prequels, he was the director of those movies. He was the sole person in charge. He did everything from writing and directing, and it flopped. It was not good. Now we can look back with rose-colored glasses and hindsight and nostalgia and say, oh, you know what? Yeah, we love the prequels. But you know what? People were very angry after the Phantom Menace.
I want to get him back in here. You're talking too much. Slevin, let me hear your argument.
Yeah, I mean, like, dude, it all comes down to the stories. Like when we look at Star Wars, we want story. Okay, what we got with the prequels was Anakin's like pretty much childhood, his teens, and then his adult life. Okay, we saw him slowly come into the dark side, little by little. Even in the first movie, Yoda really didn't want to take him in. No one did. They even told him that, they told Qui-Gon that it wasn't right, and he went and he did it anyway. And we got amazing stories with that. The sequels, Clone Wars on top of that with Dave Filoni came in and took the helm. That was amazing with what they did with Clone Wars.
That wasn't Lucas.
So yeah,
that wasn't Lucas. That was Filoni.
It was George Lucas and Filoni.
George Lucas has story element ideas, but we're talking about the question is, did he hurt his legacy? His legacy after the original trilogy was at an all-time high. And when he went into those prequels and what he did with it with Jar Jar Binks, like child Anakin in The Phantom Menace, what he did in that definitely tarnished his legacy. It did not live up to what we got from the original trilogy movies at all, and he did it on his own, and it all falls in.
Yeah, Disney came out with their their trilogy and completely ruined it, ruined the whole Star Wars legacy.
But that's neither here nor there. That has nothing to do with it.
And the thing is the whole thing is that no one wants that. No one wants that. What we want is George Lucas's Star Wars. Whether we like it or not.
Again, you're trying to reframe the argument to Disney because people hate Disney. You're trying to draw.
I'm not reframing the argument,
and you're reframing it talking about the sequels. The sequels.
I'm not reframing it.
We're talking about the prequels, and the prequels did tarnish his legacy, and they indeed did tarnish his legacy. He brought a child in of a story that we did not need. We could have started with a teenage Anakin and been just fine. We did not need him as a child. It was a pointless story to do that. Then he brought in the midichlorians.
That was what he wanted to do. That was his vision.
He came up with stuff at the last minute. You know, even from the original trilogy. I just mentioned to you, he had a whole script for Empire, and Loris Kazdan came in and changed the whole thing and made it the greatest movie it was, not Lucas. It was Loris Kazdan who made that movie.
Yeah, but first of all, he wanted to do 1, 2, and 3 first.
No,
he wanted to do 1, 2, and 3
4.
first.
You know why? Because he wanted to make money. Because Star Wars was a story.
He wanted to do 1, 2, and 3 first.
Okay? And this is the same man, mind you,
who chose to do episode 4.
Return of the Jedi.
He chose to do episode 4 because he figured, okay, this episode right here is actually going to be the one that is going to start it all. But he literally did want to do the first 3. So no matter what, we were going to get Anakin as a little kid, Anakin as a teenager, and Anakin turning into the dark side as an adult.
No, he had
that's what we were actually going to get.
What the first ones were. He did not know what he was going to start with. He made the decision to start with it. And you know what he even predicted? He even predicted that the Revenge of the Sith was going to be dark, and most of his fans probably weren't going to like it. And he's probably right. That's what he said in that article. And he was dead wrong. The one movie he thought people were going to hate the most is the one that people actually loved, the prequels. And then as far as the beginning ones that he thought were great, people didn't like.
Prequels, we got the best freaking. We got the best lightsaber battles ever.
Are you going to tell me
the lightsaber battles that are like this?
Oh, you mean the other ones that Lucas also had a part in? I mean, that was still Lucas. That's technology, dude. That's technology. Come on, dude. That's technology.
No, it's all choreographed. Right, it's choreography. They had way more. They had way more choreography in the prequels.
Okay, and who does that? Whose feet does that fall at?
George.
Okay, so it's still George Lucas, right? It's still George Lucas. Okay, well, if it's George Lucas, even though he did great choreography in the first one,
but the thing is,
it doesn't mean it helped
that
his legacy.
Dude,
we got he hired a good choreographer
more in the prequels than we got in the actual original. He
hired a good choreographer instead of having Alex.
We got so much more in the prequels, dude. Yoda's even better.
Yoda's horrible. Are you kidding me?
Yoda's even better in the prequels. What are you talking about?
No, stop right there. Because the big
no,
call you out on that bullshit. No. Because the biggest
he's an old man. He's an old senile man in the freaking in the movies. Okay, constantly testing.
I'll let you finish. And I'll say this.
Testing Luke. Okay, but yet in the prequels he was this dope ass freaking Jedi that just tried to stay calm at all times.
Any Star Wars fan worth their salt would never take CGI Yoda off over Frank Oz Muppet Yoda. Never. That is the greatest Yoda that's ever existed. Making him CGI for the entire prequels was the biggest mistake he made.
They didn't make him CGI for the entire prequels.
Lucas, he was never a puppet at all in the prequels.
Yes, he was. CGI. Yes, he was. In episode 1, he was a puppet.
Lucas wanted.
In episode 1, he was a puppet. In episode 2,
he was a puppet. He was a puppet for part of the prequel. We have a minute left. Slav, I want to hear you, Slevin. Why is it not Why is it not ruining his legacy? Go ahead, Slevin.
Well, because we got so much. We got way more story beats with the characters. Okay, we actually got to see the characters progress. Okay, in the original, we didn't get to see that. Okay, dude, don't even give me that. Luke gets his arm cut off, and then when he comes back in the last movie, he's this amazing super Jedi that people are afraid of. Come on, that doesn't make any sense. Where's the full training? Where's any of that? We didn't get any of that with him. We got that with Anakin in the prequels. Okay, he's always constantly fighting with himself. He wants to be with Padme. Okay, he's ready to give up everything, but what happens? He doesn't, and he ends up losing everything. Because he's selfish. He ends up being selfish. Okay. That did not ruin that did not ruin George Lucas's legacy. We got way more lightsaber battles. Okay? Dude, I'm sorry. That whole argument, come on, man. We got way more in the prequels than we got in the actual original trilogy.
First of all, he wasn't trained. Anakin went from a child in the Phantom Menace to a almost a Jedi Knight in the Attack of the Clones. We did not see his
time. Whoo! All right. I have some thoughts on this one, but I'm going to go. Let's bring up the other people. Guys, also, you can vote for what the topic is in round 3. It's a stupid one you guys picked. You have one more chance to, the rest of you guys, go vote and change that. Don't pick boob armor if you don't want that one, because otherwise it's about to win. Guys who are waiting to fight the next round, start looking up boob armor, I guess. Just in case. Well, you'll understand in a minute.
Topic,
I did it as a joke. Of course, the joke always wins. All right, but back to all of you in here. Let's go quickly to Lewis. Based off of those arguments, Lewis, who did you think won? Quickly.
Well, first I want to thank Lunga for calling me George Lucas half the time. It felt like it felt like Lunga caught Slevin like a kid in a hand of the cookie jar. It was constantly defending himself for stuff instead of like bringing up his points. Definitely, it looked like Lunga was bringing facts, directors, timelines, and stuff like that. I would have liked for Slevin, and Slevin, I'm not doing this because you wrongfully made me lose the last round. What I would have loved for you have done is bring up what exactly is legacy. Legacy is something that takes time, and it's been 20 years, and for a fact, Lunga can't fight this. Although the prequels were thought of as crappy, people love them now, and they keep getting better and better and better and better all the time. That's you probably
John. Any other
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. With Lunga, he just gave a lot of reasons why I would agree with him with the whole Star Wars prequels thing, why it's bad. Slevin, I wish you at the end you were giving some good reasons at the end. I wish you were pushing that more at the beginning of it. But Lunga, overall, like just more reasons for me to agree with.
All right. Well, I have to agree. I was just going to say exactly, Lewis, you're spot on with what you just said. Slevin, you tried, you were close, but too much justification trying to say why the movie, like, oh no, but this movie, the sequels, the original trilogy wasn't good either because of this and this. I didn't hear enough because Lunga dropped down facts of the fact that they weren't well received, and that was as I wrote, it did tarnish his legs because it didn't live up to those originals, and I didn't hear enough from you to sort of combat that. It was just became a justification of why there was no training and stuff and more lightsaber battles. None of that really, I think, solved the problem. So I gotta agree, and so does the poll. Oh wait, it's not the poll. That's the next round. Wait, did we put the vote out?
Yeah, the one that ends in an 8.
What's the vote? There it is.
GG Lunga. GG.
Did they agree?
You tried, man. You tried. Good job.
Did they agree? Let's make sure they didn't. Yes, Lunga is winning in that one as well. Okay. Lunga makes it on around 2, but Slevin, not bad. You got to speed it up a little bit. You'll get better as you go for your first round, though. I'm impressed. You got John and Slevin. Now you know how it goes. You're like, shit. All right, I could have done this better. You're both welcome
my
back.
pants down.
Yeah, you both.
Same here, bro.
The biggest tip I always give everybody, whether it's here or even when we're debating on movie fights, it's like, never give up. Even if you don't believe it, even if you're going against your own, just lean into it as hard as you can and just keep steamrolling over, because that's the only way.
I like the prequels.
He does. But good job, guys. All right, so final round. Here we go. We had you guys pick a bunch of topics, and you guys picked best boob armor.
Oh, I thought it was V for Vendetta. I thought me and Lewis were arguing about V for Vendetta.
So Lewis and Lunga.
I picked boob armor.
Lewis and Lunga, do you guys do you need help with this? Do you want to pick a different one?
Jeez.
Can you think you can pick best boob
We
armor?
can go to the better Bond movie.
We can overrule them. It's our show.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't confident to fight the boob armor, it was kind of a joke pick.
I mean,
that
I
they
can't
actually
just like
picked.
at the top of my head come up with boob armor.
Yeah, that's my problem. Like,
Yeah,
which
it's
boob,
hard to do.
best boob armor are you gonna pick?
I mean, if you want to give us examples.
She-Ra.
But there wasn't
The
armor.
Mandalorian.
It was just
Let's
cloth.
do Daniel Craig versus what's it called? The guy from the 80s. Damn it!
They
What's
got-
the guy I like?
Or if you play video games, Mass Effect, FemShep.
I was gonna say.
I mean,
Lord of the
No,
Rings
F it.
has
I'm
boob armor.
gonna overrule. Sorry, guys, because they're not prepared,
Yeah,
and if they're not
better
Bond
Bond
fans,
movie.
do you want to do the Bond movie or do you want to give Amber Heard a solo movie?
We could do a Bond. Lewis,
Lewis, are you
I'll
Bond?
Take Daniel
Royale
Craig.
I'm not too
versus
familiar with
Goldeneye.
Bonds.
All right, so let's.
I mean, I'm not that familiar.
Well, then
either,
let's-
but
Casino Royale
should
and
Amber
Goldeneye.
Heard have a? There's rumors that Amber Heard is going to star in a solo Mara movie. Should Amber Heard?
I'll take the no on
Should
that.
Amber Heard have a solo movie? Hold on, I'm gonna. We can roll the cube, Lewis, if you agree. If do you want to roll it? Do you want to roll it?
That? Okay, I'll try it. But
Do you,
yeah,
or do you want to roll the cube? All right, roll cube. So A, you're gonna be, or J will be Lewis. A for Lunga. Help me remember Lunga. For A, okay? Here we go. Whoever gets this cube, it's the devil's cube as we do on Yin and Yang. Whoever gets the letter picked has to choose Amber Heard should have a solo movie, okay? Hold on, so you don't think I'm cheating. A.
Oh, that means it's
Lunga.
Lunga.
I pick. All right.
Lunga
yeah,
has
well,
to
you
defend.
have to-
Lunga has to defend Amber Heard and say yes. Amber Heard should have a
It's okay,
solo
man.
movie.
Listen, I do not shy away from any challenge.
Yeah.
I had to do this with Jody. It was not fun.
Fuck, if I lose this
Justice
one,
for
I'm
Johnny
done.
Depp. Justice for
You're gonna
Johnny
lose
Depp.
this one, Lewis, just because I argue better than you, Lewis.
Yeah,
So
don't say
that's
that,
why
man. You
lose.
never know exactly. Well, guys, this
Loud
this will
and
get interesting.
incoherent does not win debates.
That's why you lose.
Yeah.
Wow, they're already all right. So John and Slevin, you will help me debate judge this one. So just drop your video out and then come back in at the end. And real quick before we get there, I meant hold on. There's one more thing I had to do, which I don't know why this didn't come through, but did it come through this time? It should. It didn't. Wait, why aren't these showing up on my? Oh, that's why. Here we go. Let me try again. Wait. There it is. Dun, 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 dun. David March.
Step and knock. I am the ledge.
He is the ledge. He dropped 75 on the challenge, which Steph Knock Shadow dropped to 50, and now David March has dropped to 75. Holy moly, you guys are paying for tonight. I almost didn't do it, so
Yeah.
thank you, Steph, for inspiring
Yeah,
it.
imagine that.
Is someone gonna go to 100? Let's see if it happens. Who wants to be the? Is it David the legend, or
think
does someone want to
either
overrule
maybe,
David? Let's see. I'm sure David would not be mad if someone helps and supports and overrules him. But David, my man, my investor, bravo for helping support the channel and for Nerd Wars. The support helps, guys, because this show's stressful for me. if you guys don't support
And
it,
me.
this show will probably go away. So I appreciate you guys who support it and keep it going. Because it's fun, but it just takes a lot to prep the people on the topics and everything else. But bravo. Thank you, David March. And guys, I want to give a plug to my investor, David March, because he is such a good dude. You guys should check out his channel, The Spy Guy, over there if you haven't already subscribed. I saw Steph put the link in there. Thank you, Steph, for getting it out there. Go support our man, David March, as he does The Spy Guy reviews. It's good stuff, good fun. Thank you, David, as always, for your support. All right, now getting to this final round of Nerd Wars. The clock is set. Guys, you ready? So, Lunga, you are fighting that Amber Heard should have a solo movie, and Lewis, you are saying
Don't laugh,
she
don't laugh,
shouldn't.
Andy.
I hate Amber Heard. Sorry, I don't
So
like
do
her.
I.
Justice
So
for
do I.
Johnny all day long. Here we go. Round 3, Nerd Wars, the final round. Who will win? Let's do this. The time starts now.
All right. Well, I'll start out first since Lewis just standing there with his lip curled up like it because he thinks he's got an argument. You don't have an argument. Listen, I'll tell you right now. People want to fire Amber Heard and say she shouldn't have a solo movie because they're pissed about Johnny Depp. You listen, you can be pissed about Johnny Depp, and it doesn't mean that she does not get to work. The problem with Johnny Depp is that he should not be fired. Amber Heard didn't fire him. Warner Brothers fired him, okay? Now, while there's things that was going on with him and her that might have led to that, the fact is Warner Brothers, Amber Heard is not the head of Warner Brothers. That was Warner Brothers' decisions, okay? Now, as far as Amber Heard goes, we need to separate the art from the artist. We can hate what she did as a person. We can disagree and say, you know what? She shouldn't treat Johnny that way. But does that mean she shouldn't work? Especially coming from people that want to say they don't want Johnny to be fired because they hate cancel culture, but yet they're okay with canceling Amber Heard. You got to pick a side, buddy. Pick a side. If you don't like cancel culture and you don't think people should be stopped from working just because we don't like what they did, then you know what? Let her have her movie. Scold her all you want online for as being a crappy person. That does not mean the woman should not have to work.
Where's the part where I should be excited about a Mirror movie?
No
You're
one asked
talking
you to
about her
say that. That's
personal
not
life.
the topic. Stay on topic. That's not the topic.
The topic is, should she have a
should she have a
standalone Mirror
Should
movie?
she have a standalone movie? Should she have a standalone movie?
She's had standalone movies before. We're talking about the DC movie Mirror. Why
Wait,
should
are we
people want that?
rephrasing it?
Because she was with
should
Johnny
there be a
Depp?
Mirror movie?
Yeah, it's a mirror movie. That's the way I thought it was
So
understood.
we're arguing should there be a Mirror movie?
Yes.
Not should Amber
Yeah,
Heard.
so-
Yes. Lewis is like, Lung is like, shit.
that
Correct.
wasn't the argument.
Yes, yeah, that's clearly what we meant.
So you
Alright,
came
fine.
into a boxing match
rephrase
and
it.
you want to turn it into a Muay Thai fight just so you could win?
You can still keep a lot of what you started with, just adjust because it's a mirror movie.
Yeah, here's the thing. But Mara is a very integral part of the Aquaman universe and a very integral part of the DC universe. She is queen of mother effing Atlantis, okay? She is the queen of Atlantis. She knows how to fight. She's helped Aquaman through many different things. And you know what? She looks really sexy in that outfit too. So you know what? I think there should be a Mara movie. There's no reason why there shouldn't be a Mara movie. Tell me why there shouldn't. Is what? There's not enough room for another woman in DC, Lewis? Only Wonder Woman can reign supreme?
History has shown that when you pull the female card, you're always in the wrong. It has nothing to do with her gender. Every time she shows up in a Zack Snyder film, she's like reading her lines. Would she freaking look at Aquaman? Jason Momoa's over here and she's like, "Hi, you should become the king of Atlantis. Please come back."
That's purely
to
subjective.
Atlanta.
I have not heard anyone make that remark that you're making.
Well, you just heard it right now because you're not watching the movie. The mere fact that you're defending that character means you haven't seen the movie.
No. What you just said,
He's awful.
You just exposed yourself like Jeffrey Toobin, okay? You just went out there and said every time she's in a Zack Snyder movie, it has nothing to do with Mira. You don't like Zack Snyder, so you don't want to see his characters put back on the big screen in solo movies. That is not the topic, and this time I'm right.
First of all, Zack Snyder did not create Mira.
Give me a reason why Mara shouldn't have a movie.
It's a boring character. Zack Snyder did not create the character Mira, but he did create Amber Heard's version of Mira.
No, Amber Heard
so
created
far,
Amber Heard.
she's been in 2 movies that I even remember, and they've been incoherent, boring mess. I have no interest.
Is that Mira's fault? Is that the character of Mira's fault?
It doesn't matter whose fault
yes,
it is.
Yes, it does, because that's what we're talking about.
So you want that for 2 hours?
That's exactly
you want
what
that
we're
for 2
talking
hours?
about. Now,
so
here's
you want
the thing.
2 hours of that boring character.
Everyone said that Aquaman was boring. People didn't like my man. People didn't like his surfer dude. Makes $1 billion an Aquaman movie. Okay, so you know what? Saying he was in a bad movie is a bad excuse. Because guess what? Wonder Woman was in that bad movie too, MFer. All right, and that movie was great as well.
Wonder Woman had a part.
That is irrelevant. Mira needs a movie, and the reason why she needs a movie. She needs a movie.
What is she gonna do in it? Please pitch me the movie. What is she gonna do in it?
It's very easy. Aquaman is off fighting an adventure, and there's an attack coming to Atlantis. And as the queen of Atlantis, she needs to defend her homeland of Atlantis from the threat that is attacking. Because Mira is a badass.
Mira's a badass.
Yes.
So those sharks in Aquaman, should they have a standalone movie?
Again, you still haven't given me a reason why she isn't. You just keep talking about other stuff.
I just said every time she's shown up in the DCEU, it's not an interesting character.
Okay. So
the character in the comics is not an interesting character. You can't bring. So Aquaman has to leave the movie for her to take over. So you have to delete the main character.
She's in Atlantis. I mean, that's where she's
at. And then a threat comes. What is it going to be? Giant squids?
Your argument is Zack Snyder movies are bad. And
she's in a Zack Snyder movie.
Amber Heard acted bad in it. Well, so did Jason Momoa in the same damn movies. Okay, people didn't like his Aquaman.
The mere fact that you have to bring up another actor to prove your point.
You're using the same argument. Okay,
bring up another actor to prove.
Lewis, do you want to see a Henry Cavill Superman movie?
Henry Cavill has acted well in
Man of Steel. And you hated Henry Cavill in the Snyder Cut.
He was good in the movie.
But you hated his Superman. You hated his Superman, right?
He was good. He delivered some good stuff.
He delivered some good stuff.
And I love his Wonder Woman,
Did you like his Superman?
What does Superman have to do with Mira, dude?
So stop using what happened in other movies.
Let me ask you a question.
Why she should
get one.
Because those are irrelevant.
Did you like Mira in Aquaman?
Yes.
What was good about it?
She played Mira well. Maybe it's I know Mira better than you. Maybe you don't know anything outside of movies and I know about the character. Maybe that's why I know a little bit more about it. But the fact is, Mira is a very intriguing
She has to
character.
Leave. She has to leave.
Mira is a very intriguing character, especially in DC lore. She is very intriguing. She was
Amber Heard's version is not intriguing, dude.
Okay, well, again, I don't think it's Amber Heard's version. I think it's Zack Snyder's version you have a problem.
Well, that's the one we're dealing with because they're not going to reboot
No, it's not.
Thing.
Is Zack Snyder directing this hypothetical movie?
No, but he produced.
Okay, so stop talking about Zack Snyder because it has nothing to do with it.
The Aquaman
Give me a reason why
Amber Heard is the same Aquaman as an Aquaman.
Give me a reason why Amber Heard is a horrible
character.
actress to you. Tell me why she's a horrible actress. Tell me.
Other than she sounds like she's reading her lines. She looks like she's reading her lines like off the camera angle.
I don't see that. I completely disagree with that.
Well. That's why you're wearing glasses.
No. You're supposed to wear them. You just don't have them on. But I mean, are you saying you think she's a horrible actress across all movies? You don't
It's
like her?
uninteresting. She's an uninteresting character.
Okay, you're flip flopping. Every time I talk about Amber Heard, you go to Mira. Every time I talk about Mira, you go back to Amber Heard.
Yeah, but Mira.
Stick with one. If we're going to talk about Mira, no. If we're going to talk about Mira, if we're going to talk about Mira,
what movie has Amber Heard been in that's so impressive to you? Magic Mike 10.
I didn't say it was so impressive to me. You're the one saying she's not good.
What in her acting what in her portfolio have you seen that's like, oh my god, I can't wait till she shows her acting chops?
I mean, are we?
What hit have you got?
Is the question now how many movies I've seen with her? Because that has nothing to do with me.
No, the question is what movie? What
about?
Movie did you see where she showed to you where you're like, wow?
How many movies have you seen Tom Holland in before Spider-Man? None. What does that have to do?
I'm not a fan.
That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. I asked you what you didn't like her in, and you couldn't answer that question. So now you're trying to make me say what I liked.
She looks and sounds like a robot when she's playing Mira.
Lewis.
So I don't want 2 hours of that.
No, there's you don't like her as an actress, and you don't like the character of Mira. Those are two different things.
Yeah, that's a double. That's a double.
Pick one.
Whammy,
pick
dude.
one, and let's settle that. Pick
okay,
one.
Which one
and
do
let's
you
settle
want?
that.
You pick it.
No, you tell me. Mira. You want to go with that character? You don't like the character.
Boring character.
Okay, you don't like the character.
Already ruined in the
2 minutes.
DC
2 minutes.
Verse.
Okay, and again, you're going back to Zack Snyder. You're not talking about the character. You're not talking about the character. You're talking about Zack Snyder. Do you understand if they make?
That's all I could.
Hold on.
That's all I could
Do you
go by.
not understand if they make another movie with her that's not directed by Zack Snyder? It could be good. I mean, did that ever cross your mind?
They did. James Wan. She wasn't good in a James Wan movie.
Yes, she was.
James Wan's a good
first of all, that
director.
wasn't a Mira movie.
James Wan is a great director, and she still was stiff in there, looking lost.
No, she wasn't. She was. I mean, I would pull it up and watch it again if you want. But a $1 billion movie, I didn't hear anybody complaining about her acting as Mira. Only thing they complained about was that she was fighting with Johnny Depp. That's the only thing people were complaining
by the money movies make as to how good they are. Avatar is the best movie. Second best movie in the
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is people had very little complaints, and as far as my knowledge is, and when
I've seen,
I didn't hear anybody complaining about her acting in Aquaman that it was stiff. I never heard that. I never heard that from anyone. People only started slamming her when the whole Johnny Depp thing happened, and that's when people started really.
I don't even know what's going on with that. I actually put Popcorn Planet turned it off when he talks about that.
Right, but you still. We said the character, and you keep going back to her acting.
I could go both.
You said Mira is not a compelling character, and you keep pointing to the Zack
compelling.
Snyder
The actress is not compelling, and so is the character she's playing.
No, we'll pick one. You still haven't told me why the character isn't compelling, other than I didn't like Zack Snyder's version.
Neither
That's
have
all
you.
you've told me.
Neither have you.
That's all you've told me.
Everything in that
Mira in the comic books and in DC is a very compelling character. Which
tell me why.
Alone,
what did she do?
She
waits till Aquaman leaves. So she could
alone,
defend Atlantis?
No, she's had fights with Wonder Woman. There's been many things going on with Mira. Okay, she has a long history.
Why is it that when I watched Batman versus Superman, saw Wonder Woman for a few minutes, I wanted to see a Wonder Woman
we can't ever talk
movie.
about this movie without you bringing up Zack Snyder at some point?
Wonder Woman is not
Zack
Snyder unless he has
Mira.
some great.
It has nothing to do with Mira. We're talking about should Mira get a solo movie?
He introduced us
not
to the
should
character.
Zack Snyder make a
And
Mira
that's
movie.
time. Wow. Ooh, damn, I got some thoughts on this one. Bring back in the other two voters. Did we put the poll out there? I want to get people to vote before I say get curious. All right, the poll is out. Great. Get the poll out. I mean, look, that was such a slam dunk for Lewis, but somehow Lunga had him on the ropes for most of that show. I got to be honest, Lewis, you got so cocky. You didn't even really tell me anything as to why she shouldn't. And then when Lunga finally handed you the alley-oop, which you didn't even take, about the Johnny Depp stuff, which is the reason why people don't want her in this movie, why she doesn't want a solo film, you said you turn off Popcorn Planet. I mean, that's not how you play to the judge, Lewis. But beyond that, I mean, I was trying to be unbiased by that comment, but I mean, just Lunga's argument that she looked good in the suit was better than anything you said against her. I mean, I was ready to give you the win easily, but then he did also bring in the fact that she's the Queen of Atlantis. She's fought Wonder Woman. She's a good character in the comics as well. And he said something else that really stuck with me. No one really did complain about her acting. Boring maybe, not caring, but he's right. No one was out there be like, oh my God, Amber Heard's such a terrible actress in that movie.
Back on top. Lungus did very well with a tough topic. I thought Lunga calling out Luis shifting to other movies was solid. I'd give it to Lunga.
I would knock Shadow just read my mind exactly. There was so much stuff that he got Lewis on the ropes several times and then changed, and then Lewis, you just asked far too many questions and gave no answers or facts. So I'm just shocked that I'm leaning towards Lunga. Does John, Slevin, do either of you disagree with my verdict here? Any thoughts you want to add?
No, I agree. It's Lunga easily won this, but Lewis, I wish you would have gone more with making fun of Amber Heard and her acting. Who are you? Are you Aquaman? Just do more of that shit. That was enjoyable.
I did.
I laughed.
I did. Clean up your headphones.
Slevin, you agree?
When Lunga Lunga took him when Lewis was like, "Well, you got that's why you wear glasses." I was like, "You just lost, bro. That makes no sense, man."
Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry, man.
That was
And then honestly, like behind every strong man, there's a strong woman. You know, Mira is Aquaman's right hand, not Aqualad. Mira.
Especially when he lost his hand.
She is the only one that has water kinesis. So yes, I would definitely like to see that.
Yeah, I mean the problem of Amber Heard is the Johnny Depp stuff and the hypocrisy of Warner Brothers, which you didn't get into at all. The truth is, Amber Heard's a beautiful person on the outside, not on the inside. But she's a beautiful person on the inside. And yeah, the character could have more interesting stuff if they had it there. But I think more people.
I thought that was going to be the topic. I thought that's what we're going to argue.
Yeah, Lewis didn't lean into any of it. Yeah, I got to say, I don't even know what the poll. Let's see, what did the poll say? Did the poll agree? Who won the argument? Let's see if the poll votes in your favor, Lewis. They can overrule. Wait, did they?
No, if I'm not mistaken, I could have swore that she was the only one that actually let them dye her hair too.
Lunga's ahead by 71% already. My goodness, that was crazy. I did not see that coming, but shows to go ya. Anybody can win anybody these rounds. That puts Lunga in the lead and the win. Hit your own applause if you got it, Lunga, for this week's Nerd Wars. Which then affects the standings that I want to go to now, Chris, right? Did you adjust it?
Yes.
So now Lunga, there we go. We have the standings here, guys. No. Lunga is now the Nerd Wars champion. He has won 2 wins. And so you're adding points. Is this how it's working now?
Yep. Because you got round 1 wins too. So the people who win at least in the first round, you get a point.
Okay. Interesting. All right. That's complicated, but Chris is on
Not
it.
really.
But he's won 2. But let's have a category of how many episodes wins. He's won 2 now.
2.
Right. Okay.
That's what the wins is.
Wins 2 points. Okay, great. And then points. I got you. Cool. That's awesome. So you're leading in points and wins. The only other people who've won so far are Jody, Yellow, Mike Rowe Comics, and Izzy. So soon I'll get all these players back. We'll do a round of championship edition at some point. But bravo, sir. You're on the board. You are now in the lead.
Lunga.
Thank you. Diamond Knight just sent a teacup over. I appreciate that. And Michael Carrot, too. I saw you send one over as well. I don't know why I saw they overcharged you in Streamlabs. I'm sorry. Reach out to me. I'll figure out what happened. Did you mean to send me $150? Or they charge you $150? I'm confused, but hopefully we figure that out. But bravo, guys. What a show. What a debate. We're going to hang out here a little bit more. Hang out until Lewis goes live at midnight over a Nerd Report. So I'll do a members-only section here. So before I do that, let me just plug quickly before we clip this. Check out Darth Daddy Lunga over at the Grey Council. He's over there doing awesome stuff. So go support him. You can check out his links always in the description as well as Lewis over at Nerd Report. Check him out. But make sure to also support John over at Nerd Reactor on YouTube. Right, best way to find you, John.
Yep.
And then Slevin, Game World Intel, is that the best place to find you on YouTube as well?
Yep.
Bravo.
That and at the GWI Geek on Twitter.
GWI Geek on Twitter. Go support these guys for coming in and fighting for you. Guys, I hope you all come back. I had a blast with you. I was not looking forward to tonight's stream, but you guys helped make fun tonight, so I applaud you all, and thanks to all you at home who supported. We're going to do a members-only chat for a little while. So, live edition. So don't go anywhere if you're watching this live. If you missed us live, you should be watching us live or become a member today. Or this is the button I meant to press. It's right there next to the subscribe button. Join. You can catch this show in all its parts, uncensored, etc. over there always after the stream. So thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned. We're not yet done live, but if you watch this on the replay, check out some of these videos and make sure to subscribe. Ooh.